example.
So one of the things that we know cancer patients, a lot of them suffer from, is malnutrition and not getting enough food, not getting enough of the right kinds of food, and that can affect quality of life, outcomes, certainly, survival. Can you speak a little bit to how you address that and make sure that that is not an issue for a cancer patient undergoing treatment?
Absolutely, and that's really our main role working in a cancer treatment center, is to make sure that we're, unfortunately in many cases, reversing malnutrition that has developed in individuals that have been treated at other facilities where their nutritional status was neglected, but also to prevent it from happening, because
Absolutely.
cancer and the treatments, as you said, can make it very difficult to eat. We're fortunate. We have every patient that we deal with has a dietitian that works with them every time they come in to see their oncologist. So we're very proactively assessing where they're at from day one, and then every time they come in, and addressing any challenges that may be coming up that's making it difficult for them to eat enough to maintain their muscle. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and that's, as I said, that's our main role here at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, is to deal with those challenges that our patients face. And so we will, every time the patient goes in, we're looking at their weight, looking at lab work, asking them lots of questions about any symptoms they may be developing that's affecting their ability to eat, and then we develop an individualized plan with the patient based on where they're at with that assessment. So it could be things like just some diet counseling or modification. For example, somebody that is maybe having a little bit of a upset stomach and that's making it hard to eat, we will do some diet counseling, making sure they're eating low-fat, blander foods, but also incorporating ginger into their diet as a spice with cooking. There are lots of ginger products they can drink in the form of teas, even different chews, ginger chews, and crystallized ginger that they can just let dissolve in their mouth. So adding things to their diet that may actually help with the nausea. Somebody that maybe is having GI upset lower down in their digestive tract. Again, it's looking at the type of fiber they're eating. So we may decrease one type of insoluble fiber in the diet and increase soluble fiber with foods and supplements. Again, if that individual is consuming dairy products, that might be a time to either stop or use dairy products that are treated with an enzyme that make them easier to digest. So it may be tweaking the diet or adding things to the diet to help that way. It may be adding a variety of oral supplements that can be either purchased or made at home to make sure we're adding more calories and protein that are a little bit easier to take in during that time. It can also, unfortunately, some individuals short-term may need to be supported with a feeding tube or IV feedings. If the diet counseling, other supplements aren't working, we will have them work with our gastroenterologists and our nutrition metabolic support team to help support them temporarily with one of those other methods of what we call nutrition support until we can get them back eating everything they need to be eating again.
I don't know how high the number is, but the number is very high of the number of cancer patients who actually succumb to malnutrition versus their disease. Can you give us kind of a range for what that looks like? Because this is a very important issue for every cancer patient.
It absolutely is, and the Cancer Institute in 2007 in their annual report estimated that the prevalence was 20 to 40% of people with cancer actually die from a condition called cachexia, which is basically a type of wasting that also known as malnutrition. But it's a special kind of wasting that can be from the disease and or the treatments from the disease. And some people argue that the 20-40% may be a little low because some people with cancer die from infections.
Right.
And if somebody's malnourished, their immune system is compromised, and so it makes them more susceptible to infections also. But 20 to 40% is the statistics that the National Cancer Institute had put out in their report. Absolutely.
One thing that everybody talks about, I know I incorporated ginger into my diet when I was undergoing chemotherapy and used it very successfully for the treatment of my quality of life, more important than anything else, because quality of life and length of life go hand in hand. One of the things that a lot of physicians say to their patients is eat comfort foods. Can you talk about the benefits of eating a comfort food and perhaps the not so good reasons why you should focus in a different way and consult with someone like you to make sure that you're getting not only nutrition, but the right kinds of nutrition to help your quality of life and maybe your survival.